All right, hi. So we are talking about completing the square, but we're going to practice a couple of other things today as part 2 of our completing the square lesson. And we will also go through some word problems. So some of them you're going to do for notes, and then some of them you're going to do for homework. And let's begin. If you want to, I can tell you just on the top of this paper which one's going to be homework and which one's going to be notes. Okay, hi, we're back. Thank you. So the homework problems that I want you guys to write down, well, first of all, just put at the top of your paper these problems that we're going to do for homework. Notice that it starts up here, 3, 4, and then it goes to 1, 2. So keep that in mind. But your homework problems are going to be 2, 4, and 6. 8 and number 1. Now number 1 is going to be the word problem, which is on the back side right here. So I'm going to put an HW next to every question that's homework, okay? So now we're going to get started, and we have plenty of time, so this is good. All right. Rewrite in Vertex form, which means that I'm going to have to do the standard form equation. I'm going to have to find vertex. Vertex form requires that I know what the vertex is. So that means that I'm going to do, keep note on the side of your paper that the A is 3, because I'm going to need that. All right. Vertex form, find the vertex. Negative B over 2A. Negative B over 2 times A. All right. That's 4 over 6, which is 2/3. So my X is 2/3. Now for me to find my Y, I'm going to do this. Plug in 2/3 into my original standard form equation, right? So that's going to be 3 2/3 squared minus 4 times 2/3 plus 1. Three times 4/9 minus 8/3 plus 1. Okay. There's a couple ways to do this. I know, let's do this. I know. Let's simplify this 3 and this 9 right here. Cross cancel. Okay. So now I have let me check and make sure that I'm not going to make a mistake on this. No, I can't do that yet. That's not going to help us right now. 3 times 4/9. Okay, just work it out. 12/9 minus 8/3 plus 1. And it's going to behoove me to make that 1 into probably like a 9 over 9. I have to find the common denominator with all these, okay? So I can do, to make them all 9s, that would be fine. Let's do 8/3 multiplied by 3. So I've got 12/9, and I'm going to run out of space. 12/9 minus, make this a 9, 24 over 9 plus 3 over 3. Or let's make it 9 over 9. It'll be a lot easier. Okay, so 12 minus 24 plus 9, negative 12 plus 9, right? Negative 3/9. Yeah. Negative 1/3. Fraction work, guys. Negative 1/3. Okay. So my vertex form is y equals a. A is 3. X minus 2/3 squared minus 1/3. There's vertex form. Okay. Number 2, I also have to do, I'm sorry, number 4, it's number 4. My A is 4, so keep that in mind, right? Negative B over 2A. And it is, you know what, we need to skip number 4. Number 4 is another fraction problem and it takes a long time. Here's what the vertex ends up being. Negative 3/4, comma, 28.5. So y equals a 4 x plus 3/4 squared plus 28.5. Okay. All right, now what I'm going to do with you is I'm going to do 1, 3, 5, and 7 with you in class today, and then you'll have the others to do for homework. So example number 1 is, there we go, much better. It's the only kind, I know that the directions say use square roots to solve the quadratic equations, but only example 1 has that. So I'm going to square root both sides, square root both sides, and it's going to get me plus or minus 5, because 25, the square root of 25 is plus or minus 5. 2x minus 3 equals positive 5. 2x minus 3 equals negative 5. So just solve for x. Go ahead, add 3 to both sides. Four and negative 1. Okay. All right, number 3. Okay. We cannot use square roots to solve this one, so I just want you to solve. Now, this method could be completing the square or just factoring. Turns out I can just factor on this one. Someone want to tell me what it is? Eubene.
So it is 15 and 1.
So x plus 15, x minus 1 though. Yeah, good. So x equals negative 15, x equals positive 1. And you're going to do 2 and 4 for homework. I want to recommend on number 4 that you, let me show you something on number 4, just to kind of get you started, okay? 16x squared and then the 1 at the end, that's a perfect square trinomial. It is 4x minus 1. So now I can do this like number 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write 4x minus 1 squared equals 49, and then you're going to square root both sides and do it just like we did number 1, okay? The same thing happens with number 6. Make it a perfect square trinomial. Something in parentheses, the exact same numbers in both parentheses equals 100, and then you square root both sides. So make sure on 4 and 6 you're paying attention to that. It doesn't work as well with the 23 for number 2, so. Okay. You'll have to do completing the square for number. So you're going to have to do completing the square for number 2 for homework. Okay. On number 5, there is a typo, which I need to discuss with you. This should be right here. Let me write that out. $16. Okay. All right. What is a perfect square trinomial that this can become? Because it can. Perfect square trinomial that this one can become.
2x plus 4.
2x plus 4. Very good. Then you rewrite it, 2x plus 4 squared equals 1, and you square root both sides. Okay. Square root both sides. 2x plus 4 equals plus or minus 1. So split it up. 2x plus 4 equals 1. 2x plus 4 equals negative 1. Minus the 4. I got x equals negative 3/2. X equals negative 5/2. If you were graphing this, these would be your x-intercepts, which means you would have to change them to mixed numbers, negative 1.5. And this one, negative 2.5. These are going to be your x-intercepts, your solutions, your zeros, your roots. These are all synonyms. Okay. All right. You're doing number 8 for homework. So number 7, even if I tried, let's see. $98. So that would require me playing around with the calculator for a little bit. Let me pause the video and so we're going to have to complete the square. So that would be for 7 and 8. So make sure you do it for number 8 as well, that you complete the square. Okay, so let's add 99, I'm sorry, add 91 to the right side. Does anybody want to help me? So what are you guys doing right now then? Are you like with me on the same problem? Are you working ahead? Are you doing something from another class? Like what's happening? Because no one's volunteering.
With you.
Okay, that person's with me.
You.
Mia, go ahead. You want to volunteer?
Yeah, you would add -4/2 squared to both sides.
Perfect. That's -2 squared, that's a 4. Now remember, -2, this number right here, -4/2 reduces to -2. That's going to be the number in my factored parentheses. Okay. X minus 2 squared equals 102. And then square root both sides. X minus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 102. So now I'm sitting and thinking, what numbers, like obviously 102 doesn't have a perfect square in it. Not 4, I don't think 16, 51 times 2. Oof. 2 times, yeah, 3. 34. Ugh. No, you guys, I can't do anything. 102 is just 2 plus or minus the square root of 102. All right, that's number 7. Okay. Number 1, we're going to do together. So number 1 is a pelican swoops down under the surface to catch a fish. So here's the bird, which, you know, I'm so good at drawing birds. It also looks like a shark. Pelicans have long necks. Whatever. There it is. Beautiful. Swoops down under the surface. So here's the ocean water. It's going to go like this. Right? I want to know an equation that describes the pelican path is y equals 4x squared minus 16x plus 15. And the pelican catches the fish at the deepest point of the dive. Okay, so the deepest point of the dive is going to be my vertex, guys, my minimum. So I need to know the vertex because the y value of the vertex is my deepest point. And it's a pelican, so it's not going to be like, and you know, pelicans have that giant mouth. So it's not like the pelican's going to be going like 50 feet to get a bird. Okay. So here we go. Find the vertex. X equals negative b over 2 times a. So x equals 16 over 8, which is 2. 2 comma. Then I'm going to plug 2 back into my original function, 4x squared minus 16x plus 15. And I'm going to solve for y. Y equals 4 times 4 minus 32 plus 15. Good? -1. The y value of my vertex is the lowest point. The pelican dives 1 foot deep. Okay, It likes the fish that are on the surface of the water. And that's the whole point. You know, it opens its mouth and it catches the fish in its giant mouth. Okay. I want to talk to you real quick about number 2, just to kind of give you a heads up. You're going to have to complete the square. And it says, the relationship between the time since the ball was thrown and the height of the ball can be modeled by the equation, height of t, 32t minus 16t squared plus 4. Okay, first of all, that's not in order. Keep that in mind, that is not in order. Where h is the height of the ball through t seconds. Complete the square to find out how long it would take the ball to reach 20 feet, guys. So here's the deal. Set it up. If I want it to equal 20 feet, I'm going to set it equal to 20. And then I need to write the actual equation in the proper order. ax squared plus bx plus c. So rearrange negative 16t squared plus 32t plus 4. That is the proper order. Okay? And then you complete the square with that one. Okay? All right. You've never completed a square with an A, so I actually need to help you start it. I'm sure you're not sad. Move the C over. Now, because this has an A, it's negative 16, we need to factor that out. And I'm going to get t squared minus 2t. And then this is what this negative 2, that's the number I'm going to cut in half and add to both sides. Okay? I think I just need to do it for you guys. Too many of you will get it wrong, and that's not worth it to me. Okay, add to both sides. Okay, now remember, I factored out a 16. So I'm going to add half of t, half of negative 2 squared. But this, I factored out, so here's what you're going to add, which is negative 2t plus negative 1 squared. Negative 1 squared is 1. Okay, I had a 16 here. So here's what I need to do, because remember how you have to add it to both sides? I'm going to add to both sides as negative 16, this for negative 16 right here, times this negative 1. Because when you multiply negative 16 times negative 1, or times the positive 1, anyways, it turns out to be 0. Then I get rid of the negative 16 by dividing by 16. Negative 16 on both sides. It's still 0. I need to show you the other way to complete the square, because this part right here is confusing. No, this is the best method. Yeah. Okay. Then you square root both sides and you guys can, okay. All right. So let us stop the recording.